Day 517th, 18th, 2026, June 3rd. In Tokyo, the typhoon is now approaching. There are lots of rain outside. In contrast, both Bonsai, Serissa, Asahiyama Sakura seem to be silent. There is no water around here. The Serissa seems to be a little bit dry on the black parts. The surface of moss seems to be not dry. There is no insects on the surface. Please be care of the summer season. There is no flower on the Asahiyama Sakura. The surface of moss seems to be undried. There is no flower on the surface. Do you hear the droplets outside and the wind sound? It's a typhoon. It's now approaching. There is no typhoon on this June. It's a 14th year from 2012. But the two bonsai seems to be is here. Thank you for your watching from Zen Bonsai Vibes. Moths waiting for clear skies. After the storm, still uncertain. Day 519. Description YouTube podcast ready. June 4th, 2026, Tokyo, Japan. The typhoon has already passed, at least according to the weather map, and yet Tokyo still does not feel clear. The sky remains gray, the air feels heavy, the sunlight cannot quite break through the clouds. It feels like the storm left, but the atmosphere stayed behind. The bonsai feels similar. The weather has changed, but the question remains. The Asahiyama Sakura still waits quietly. The moss remains uneven. Some areas appear stronger. Some areas remain thin. The flowers have not opened. Yet the tree continues standing. The lawn feels important. The Serissa continues its difficult journey. The darker leaves remain. Growth is still hard to find. But the moss around it continues to hold life. Green patches remain visible. The signs of resilience continue. Bonsai reflection. Not every storm ends immediately. Today's lesson. Sometimes the storm leaves, but the effects remain. Clouds linger. Moisture stays. Recovery takes time. Nature does not reset instantly. Neither do we. Zen travel, Goshogawara, Omi-Hachiman, Northern Plains, historic canals, water culture, connected with Kerala landscapes and backwater life. Goshogawara, Aomori. First, vast northern plains beneath changing skies. Second, agricultural landscape shaped by seasonal weather. Kerala parallels. Muna landscapes where weather shapes daily life. Wayana green hills and slow seasonal rhythms. Nature sets the pace. Third, river, mountains, and forest connecting regions. Fourth, humidity gradually increasing toward western Japan. Kerala parallels. Periyar National Park, ecosystem balanced by water. Atropically falls, power and beauty created by rainfall. Water creates both challenge and life. Arepe backwaters, waterways shaping communities. Folk culture, history, trade, and water connected together. Great towns often grow beside water. Climate rhythm. 7. Tokyo after typhoon, unsettled skies after change. 8. Kerala after monsoon rain, moisture remaining long after storm pass. Different countries, some feeling recovery is a progress. Bonsai philosophy, recovery takes time. Today's truth. The typhoon passed. The clouds remain. The trees remains too. Progress is not always immediate. June 4th, 2026, day 519. Clouds above Tokyo. Moisture within the moss. Patience continuing. Final reflection. The storm is gone. The journey continues. Real tree, real moss, real season from Japan. Thank you for following this journey. From Zen Bonsai Vibes. Moss waiting for clear skies after the storm. Moss shining under clear skies. Sunshine returned after the storm. Day 520. Description YouTube podcast ready. June 5th, 2026, Tokyo. Tokyo feels completely different. The typhoon had finally passed, and for the first time in days, Tokyo woke up to a clear sky. Bright sunshine, fresh air, low humidity. The kind of morning that makes you want to open every window. The city feels lighter, the sky feels higher, and even the plants seem relieved. The Asahiyama Sakura continues its quiet journey. The fall still have not opened, but after days of rain, humidity, uncertainty, the tree feels stable. The moss remains uneven places. Some areas have thinning, some areas have remain green. Its overall atmosphere feels healthier today. Perhaps sunlight is a kind of medicine too. The Serissa still struggled. The darker leaves remain. The new growth is difficult to find, but the moss surrounding it continues to show life. Green patches remain, moisture remains, hope remains. Bonsai reflection. Today's lesson. Sometimes nothing changes, but everything feels different. The same tree, the same moss, the same pot. Yet under blue sky, hope becomes easier to see. Then travel, Nara, Kirishima, ancient capital, the sacred forest and volcanic horizon, connected with Karnataka landscapes, heritage roots. Nara, first, ancient temple surrounded by deer one forest. Second, morning light filtering through historical pathways. Karnataka Palace, Miscalled Palace, history preserved through generations. Hampi, ruins that continue telling stories centuries later. Great place survive because people continue caring for them. Third, mountain ranges stretching toward Kyushu. Fourth, river forest and changing skies along route. Karnataka Palace, Kurug, misty hills, forest and cool air. Jog Falls, water shaping landscape through time. Nature builds beauty slowly. Kirishima. Fifth, volcanic peaks rising above clouds. Sixth, hot springs, forests and powerful natural energy. Karnataka Palace, Nandi Hills, elevated landscapes overlooking vast plains. Kudelmushu, green mountain shaped by weather and time. Mountain reminds us that strength is built gradually. Climate and rhythm. Tokyo after typhoon, relief and fresh energy. It's Karnataka after monsoon breaks, sunlight returning to the landscape. Different countries, same feeling. A new beginning after difficult weather. Why this channel continues? This channel records most recovering, to adapting, season changing, small victories that often go unnoticed. Not every day is dramatic. Every day tells part of the story. Bonsai philosophy, blue sky and weather. Today's truth, the flower still has not bloomed. The Serissa still struggles, but the sun returned. And sometimes that alone is enough to keep moving forward. June 5th, 2026, day 520. Blue skies above Tokyo. Living moss below, a new chapter beginnings. Final reflection. Sunlight above, root below, hope continuing between them. Real tree, real moss, real season from Japan. Thank you for following this journey. The Serissa remains fragile. The darker leaves continue to worry me, but the moss around it still holds signs of life. Perhaps the recovery starts underground. Perhaps the roots are still working quietly. I hope so. Bonsai reflection. Water before it is needed. Today's lesson. The best care often happens before problems become serious. Water before complete dryness. Rest before exhaustion. Preparation before difficulty. Nature rewards attention. Then travel Seki Akashi to Akashi. River castle coastal horizons connected with Australia's great landscape. Seki Gifu. First, clear river flowing through central Japan. Second, historic craftsmanship and mountain scenery. Australia parallels. Blue Mountain, forest cliff and changing weather. Grampians National Park, rugged landscape shaped by time. Inland regions reveal their beauty slowly. First, river connecting town and city. Second, gentle countryside beneath cloudy skies. Australian parallels. Hunter Valley, rolling landscape and quiet morning. Yarra Valley, green scenery and changing seasons. Calm landscape teach patience. Akashi, Hyogo. First, Akashi Strait and coastal breeze. Second, Great Bridge strengthening across the sea. Australian parallels, Sydney Harbour, water bridges and city life connected. Great Ocean Road, coastline shaped by wind and time. Water creates both beauty and movement. Climate and rhythm. First, Tokyo before the rainy season, cool winds and uncertainty. Second, Southern Australia in mild seasons, comfortable weather and open skies. Different countries, same feeling. A day you visit wish could last larger. Why this channel continues? This channel follows moss drying and recovering, birds waiting patiently, weather shaping growth. Small changes become meaningful. No shortcuts, no filters, just read nature. Bonsai philosophy, small actions matters. Today's truth, the moss became dry, so water will return. Sometimes the smallest action changes tomorrow completely. June 6, 2026, day 521st. Clouds above Tokyo. Dry moss below. Quiet care continuing. Final reflection. Cool wind above. Living roots below. Hope continuing between them. Real tree. Real moss. Real seasons from Japan. Thank you for following this journey from Zen Bonsai Vibes. 30 moss beneath summer clouds. Water before the heat arrives. Day 521st. Description YouTube podcast ready. June 6, 2026, Tokyo. Today feels like a perfect day before the rainy season. Tokyo is cloudy. A gentle wind moves through the city. The air feels cool, not cloud, not hot, just comfortable. Honestly, if summer felt like this every day, I would be very happy too. The sky remains gray, but unlike days before the typhoon, today's cloud feels light. The atmosphere feels relaxed. The city feels calm. The Asahiyama Sakura continues to its quiet journey. The flowers still have not opened. The birds continue waiting. And today, my attention returned to the moss. The moss feels too dry again. Much drier than I would like. So today, watering becomes the most important task. Before growth, before flowers, before anything else, water comes first. Day 522nd, 2026, Tokyo, Japan, from Tokyo, Japan. Welcome to the Zen Bonsai Vibes. Today, the Tokyo is cloudy today. The rainy season is approaching. From this morning, I watched the friendship match, football match, Germany and United States. Germany won 2-1. It was an exciting game. From two bonsai, it seemed to be dry. So I tried to make a water from now. This Asahiyama Sakura. The flower is not opened. The surface of moss seems to be dry. There is no green part. It seems to be a sand. And this part is sand. I think this part is dry moss. So the moss absorbed a little bit water from In addition, I tried to make water from Serissa. So Serissa seems to be, all parts seem to be dry. The upper part, middle part, lower parts seem to be black. The surface of moss seems to be a little bit dry, but this part is green. The dry part seems to be expanding. So from now on, I watch the soccer friendship match Argentina and Nicaragua. So both teams are very hard movement, and they are trying to best to win the game. So please watch the both bonsai and to make water. So I think a little bit band is opened. And considering from this situation, there is no flower thing on this part. The World Cup game is now approaching. So there are a lot of friendship match from the opening day. Mexico, United States, and Canada. I'm very looking forward to watching the lot of exciting game, especially Japan. Thank you for watching them from them Bonsai Vibes. Please subscribe this channel to enjoy the future bonsai part. Most football and patience, watering through the waiting, day 523. Description YouTube podcast ready. June 8th, 2026 Tokyo. Tokyo remains cloudy today. The rainy season feels closed. But honestly, this kind of weather feels comfortable. No harsh sunlight, no extreme humidity. A gentle breeze. If summer could stay like this, it would be perfect. This morning began with football once again. The World Cup is getting closer. Croatia vs Slovenia delivered memorable moment. A brilliant strike from the Luka Modric reminded everyone why experience still matters. Morocco vs Norway was also full of energy. The Moroccan supporters created an incredible atmosphere. The closer the tournament gets, the more every match feels important. Meanwhile, the Bonsai continued its own quiet preparation. The Asahiyama Sakura still has not bloomed. The beds remain, the branches remain, and hopes remains. The biggest challenge today was once again the moss. It had become too dry, so I continued watering carefully, day after day. The moss does not recover instantly, but neither does the football team preparing for World Cup. Small work repeated over time creates strength. The Serissa remained fragile. The darker leaves remain visible. Growth is difficult to see, yet the moss continue holding life. Perhaps recovery is happening somewhere I cannot see. Bonsai reflection constantly creates strength. Today's lesson: great results often come from simple actions repeated many times. One watering, one observation, one day of patience, then another, and another. Then travel Toyama to Marugame, mountains, inland sea, and quiet harbors, connected with Australia great journey. Toyama. First, Toyama Bay beneath wide skies. Second, snow-fed rivers flowing from mountains. Australia Paddles, Kuraduru Mountain, dramatic landscape shaped by nature. Frisian National Park, sea and mountains meeting together. Water connects everywhere landscape. Third, crossing central Japan through valleys and rivers. Fourth, gradual transition from mountains to coastal plains. Australian parrots, blue mountains, changing elevations and cooling air. Hunter Valley, gentle scenery and slower rhythm. Beautiful journey happens gradually. Marugame. Fifth, Marugame coastline overlooking and city. Sixth, view towards Seto and Inland Sea. Australian parrots. Sydney Harbour, water shaping city life. Great Ocean Road, coastline shaped by wind and time. Coastal region understand patience. Climate rhythm. Seventh, Tokyo before the rainy season, calm and stanley. Eighth, Southern Australia during mild weather to balance and comfort. Different countries, same feeling. The best days are often gentle ones. Why this channel continues? This channel follows, mostly covering slowly, birds waiting quietly, seasons changing naturally, hope surviving instantly. The story is not about quiet success. The story is about continuing. Bonsai philosophy, keep watering. True truth, the flowers still have not bloomed. The moss still needed care. So I continue watering. Sometimes that's enough. June 8th, 2026, day 523. Clouds above Tokyo. Fresh water below the moss. The journey continues. Final reflections. Football teams prepare for tournament. Moss prepared for tomorrow. Both grow through repetition. Real tree, real moss, real season from Japan. Thank you for following this journey from them Bonsai Vibes. Most welcoming the rainy season. New hope beneath the clouds, day 524. Description YouTube podcast ready. June 9th, 2026, Tokyo. Yesterday, the Kanto region, including Tokyo, officially entered the rainy season. And this morning felt exactly like it. Rain falling steadily, grey clouds stretching across the sky, no sunlight visible, no blue sky, just an unmistakable atmosphere of June in Japan. When I wake up, football was already underway. New Zealand vs Uzbekistan. One moment stood out. Dutch player Warren Emery appeared to collide with the opposition goalkeeper and was substituted shortly afterward. Moments like that remind us how quickly football can change. The World Cup is getting closer every day. Every friendly match feels like part of the preparation. The bonsai also seems to be preparing. The Asahiyama Sakura looks healthier today after yesterday's watering. The branches seem to calmer. The birds look more hydrated. The tree leaves stronger. However, one thing still catches my attention. Some soil has become visible beneath the moss. The moss has thinned enough for earth underneath to appear. It's a small detail, but it's difficult not to notice. The Serissa has reached an interesting stage. There are very few leaves left that can continue. The Serissa has reached an interesting stage. There are very few leaves left that can continue darkened. Most of the visible decline has already happened. So now I find myself hoping for something different. A new green shoot, a fresh beginning, small sign that life is preparing the next chapter. Bonsai reflection. Rain creates possibility. Today's lesson. Rain does not guarantee growth, but it creates the condition for growth. Moisture returns, roots absorb water, new life gains opportunity. Sometimes preparation is enough. Then travel Kakegawa to Kyoto, tea fields, ancient streets and seasonal rain, connected with Australia's ironic landscapes. Kakegawa, Shizuoka. First, green tea fields beneath low clouds. Second, Kakegawa Castle overlooking the countryside. Australian parallels, Yarra Valley, agricultural beauty shaped by climate. Hunter Valley, rolling landscape and slower rhythm. Productive landscape depends on patience. Third, river, forest and historical towns, passing by rain windows. Fourth, rain clouds, following the route toward Kansai, Australia parallels. Blue mountains, misty valley and changing skies. Dawn ranges, forest shaped by moisture and over time. Rain transforms every landscape. Kyoto. Fifth, temple route shining under light rain. Sixth, quiet alleyways carrying the century of history. Australian parallel, Sydney Harbour, ironic landscapes shaped through generations. Fremantle, heritage preserved within modern life. Historical place survived through conditioned care. Clement 7, Tokyo entering the rainy season, moisture returning to the landscape. 8, Australia temperature region after rainy renewal and recovery. Different countries, same lesson, rain change everything slowly. Why this channel continues? This channel follows most thinning and recovery, but waiting patiently, leaves struggling and adapting, season changing naturally, no shortcut, just real nature. Bonsai philosophy, hope comes first. Today's truth. The moss has thinned. The soil is visible. Serissa is struggle. And yet I find myself looking for a new green growth. Perhaps hope itself is the sign of life. June 9th, day 524th. Rain above Tokyo. Moisture beneath the model. The new season beginning. Final reflection. Rain clouds above. Living roots below, new possibility in between, real tree, real moss, real season from Japan. Thank you for following this journey from Zen Bonsai Vibes. Good morning from Tokyo, Japan. Day 525th, 2026, Tokyo, Japan. From Zen Bonsai Vibes. Now, the Tokyo seems to be cloudy. The rainy season is approaching. So I forgot. I woke up. I do not wake up early morning to watch the friendly match, soccer match. So I was shocked at this morning. So from watching from two bonsai, Asahiyama Sakura and Serissa. Asahiyama Sakura. Seems to be there's no flower on the Asahiyama Sakura. But the surface of moss seems to be not green. A little bit white and brown. Sorry. And there is no flower on the surface. Part of bonsai, Serissa, seems to be not doing well, but the lower part of moss seems to be a little bit good. There is no spider on the surface. Thank you for watching from Zen Bonsai Vibes. Real tree, real moss, real. This morning, bonsai observation was simple. The Asahiyama Sakura looked much similar as yesterday. No major change, no dramatic growth, no sudden surprise. The branches appeared calm. The birds remained steady. The tree simply continued its quiet journey. The Serissa also showed a little visible change. The obvious recovery. No new decline, just another day of waiting. At first, days like this can feel uneventful. But after more than 500 days of observation, I have learned something important. Many of the biggest changes began during the days when nothing seemed to be happening. Roots continued growing. Moisture continued moving through the soil. The tree continued preparing for the future. Much of nature's work happens where we cannot see. That thought brings me back to football. When people match to Cristiano Ronaldo, they see the matches, they see the goal, they see the observation, celebrations. What they do not see are the thousands of ordinary days behind them. The early mornings, the training sessions, the recovery work. This discipline repeated over many years. Growth rarely happens in a single moment. It usually builds through small actions repeated over a long time. Bonsai teaches the same lesson. A tree does not transform overnight. It grows little by little, day after day, season after season. Sometimes the changes are obvious, sometimes they are invisible, yet the process continues. Then travel, Tokyo to Kyoto. Today's journey continues westward toward Kyoto. As trains move across Japan, they pass rivers, forests, towns, and rice fields shaped by generations of care. Many of these landscapes have existed for hundreds of years, not because they were left alone, but because people continued caring for them. A bonsai survived in the same way, not through dramatic action, but through consistent attention, small efforts repeated over time. Today's reflection, today's lesson is simple. Not every day brings invisible progress. Not every day brings existing youth. Some days are quiet, some days are cloudy, Some days seemed unchanged, yet these days matter too, because preparation is part of growth, patience is part of growth, consistency is part of growth. Whenever in football, bonsai, or life itself, day 526. A cloudy morning in Tokyo. A football legend still competing. Two bonsai trees quite waiting. And another reminder that meaningful growth often happens long before we can see it. Final reflection. The clouds remain above Tokyo. The roots continue their work below the soil. Cristiano Ronaldo continued his journey. The bonsai continued his journey. And so does this channel, one day at a time. Thank you for following this journey from Japan. Still growing, still waiting. Cristiano Ronaldo and a quiet morning in Tokyo. Day 526. Script description. June 11th, 2026, Tokyo, 5:30 a.m. When I woke up, football was already underway. The international friendly between Portugal and Nigeria was deep into stoppage time. The score was 1-1, and there, still competing on the field, was Cristiano Ronaldo. It felt a little surprising. Not because he was playing well or poorly, simply because he is still there, still running, still training, still representing his country. Many players have come and gone during his career, yet he continues. Watching him this morning reminded me that some journey lasts much longer than people first imagine. The FIFA World Cup 2026 is getting closer every day. Every friendly match feels like a small step towards the tournament. Each player is preparing. Each team is searching for answers. And perhaps in a much smaller way, my bonsai trees are preparing too. Back in Tokyo, this morning was quiet. The sky was mostly covered with clouds. Large gray clouds stretched across the city. Yet in a few places, the clouds had begun to break apart. Small openings revealed brighter patches of sky above. The rainy season atmosphere remains, but today felt slightly different from the steady rain of earlier this week. The air was cool enough. Standing outside in only a t-shirt felt a little cold. Summer still seems to be waiting beyond the clouds. June in Japan often feels like this. Not quite springs. Not quite summer, a seasonal transition. 자, 30. Day 529th, 2026, June 14th. From Zen Bonsai Vibes. Today, the Tokyo seems to be cloudy and is now rainy season. But today is not raining day. It seems to be very humid. So I woke up very early morning to watch the World Cup soccer game, Qatar 2 versus Switzerland. So the score is 1-1. It's draw game. I think it might be win the Switzerland, but Qatar is shooting finally, so it's draw. So the both bonsai seem to be is not the same. The Asahiyama Sakura seems to be it's not right, but it's not, there is no flower. But in Serissa seems to be it's not dry, but the green parts is very vivid. It's good well. So thank you for the following this journey from Zen Bonsai Vibes. No winter, more lessons. Belgium, Egypt, and the learning bonsai. Day 531st. Description YouTube podcast ready. June 16, 2026, Tokyo, 4 a.m. The sky above Tokyo was calm. Yesterday's rain had disappeared. The city was still asleep. Before sunrise, another World Cup story was unfolding. Belgium first to first, 1-1 Egypt full time. Egypt led at half-time. Belgium responded in the second half. By the final whistle, neither side had won. The match ended level. Football often reminds us of something easy to forget. What happened first is rarely the entire story. As I watched the match, another question came to mind. In a world where information travels instantly and AI can learn from enormous amounts of data, what continues to grow in value? Perhaps it's not a score. Perhaps it is not a headline. Perhaps it is accumulation of learning, the lesson that quietly built over time. This morning, the bonsai seemed to reflect the idea. The Asahiyama Sakura still has not bloomed. The Serissa is still recovering. Neither tree has reached its destination, yet both continue responding to the season around them. The rain, the sunlight, the humidity, the changing temperature, Every day leaves a small trace. Every day becomes part of the tree. Imagine the moss as a football resting within a Zen garden. The gravel becomes a field. The pattern becomes pathways. The branches becomes choice made over time. Each surviving leaf represents experience. Each new root represents understanding. Growth is rarely dramatic. Most of it happens quietly. Then reflection, what truly compounds? Today's question is simple. What truly compounds over time? A football team develops through matches. The bonsai develops through seasons. A person develops through observation. One match prepares the next match. One season prepares the next season. One question leads to another question. The most valuable things are often invisible while they are being built. For more than 500 days, I have been watching the same bonsai. At first, I was looking for visible change. Now I find myself looking for accumulated learnings. Perhaps growth is not becoming bigger. Perhaps growth is becoming an accumulate of seeing more. Then travel Tokyo to the world. Today's imagined journey follows a path of learnings. Kyoto's temple gardens, Cairo in beside the Nile, Brussels in the early morning, Kerala's backwaters, Marrakesh old street, Rio's coastline, different landscapes, different stories, different journeys. Yet, every place is shaped by countless small moments accumulated over time. Final reflection. A quiet morning in Tokyo, Belgium and Egypt finishing level at 1-1. A bonsai is still waiting. A small garden still growing. And a simple question remaining. If result fade a seasonal path, what is knowledge that stay behind? Perhaps that's where the real growth begins. Real tree, real moss, real season from Japan, from Zen bonsai vibes. Before the match begins, day 534. June 19th, 2026, Tokyo, 3:56 a.m. I woke up before sunrise. A gentle rain was falling across Tokyo. Before watching Switzerland against Bosnia and Herzegovina, I spent a few moments with my bonsai. Yesterday, I may have given it too much water. But this morning, the Asahiyama Sakura looked healthier. The moss was greener. The branches were calm. Sometimes a tree simply needs water. And sometimes people need rest, patience, and time. The Serissa still has no new shoots, but perhaps nature is still walking beneath the surface. Football fans focus on 90 minutes, but before every match there are months of preparation. Perhaps life is the same. Not every important moment happens under bright lights. Bright morning matter too. Thank you for following this journey from Japan. Potti todangum mun. Nar ainuti uppati nar. Iranda iratti irubatti ar jun paton batu. Tokyo karai munru ainpatti ar. Surian udikka munbenan wijitten. Tokyo biru medubana mazai beidu kondiru gantu. Uraga koppai kara iin Swiss. Mattorum Bosnia Herzegovina pottiai paru darukumun. 시라 니민단가르 엔 본사이 유단 가짓댐 네토르 콘잠 아디가마가 탄 니ルイルバッティルカムアーナールインルカーライ旭山桜アローキヤマーガテリンダドゥパージメルムバスマーヤがいるんだドゥキライガルアマイティヤーがいるんだなシラネラングガリルオルマラティルクタンニールポドゥマーナドゥマニダルクアバーティターンタンニールマスマラオーイブパルライネーラムセリッサインヌプディアモットカルカガカートリルラキットマポルマイポドゥマーダーダアーナルアドゥアマイティアーガタンベライヤイトドランギュセイトゥコンディルキラドゥボンサイマルバタバドゥマットルムアルエンナムエナクルパダンダドゥカールパンドゥラシガルトンヌールニミンヤタガライマットゥメパールキリラルガルアーナルオボルアポティクムムンパラマーダンガリンバイルジチエンナトラカルビサーダタナカーライガルカンガルクジャッパーニリンドゥウンガルククナンドリインダアマイディアーナパヤッタイナニガルピルヤバヤールチャンネルアイサブスクライブセイヤマランドビダーティルガルミンデムサンディポームスブルムプルダンディンガンディムライハリスリマラトゥスティガプルエンパットスンビランプラスジュニドゥアディブドゥアプルエナムプクルノルティガリマプルエナムディ東京アクバングンスブルムマタハリトゥルビットフジャントゥルンブルランディ東京スブルムムノントンスイスムラワンボスニアダンヘルツェゴビナアクリムムリハットボンサイテルレビダフルケマリンムンキンアクムンブリカンニャテルアルバニャックアイルタピパギイニ旭山桜トゥルリハットレビセハットルムットニャレビピジャダハンニャトゥルリハットテナンカダンカダンポホンハニャムンブトゥカンアイルダンマヌシアジュガムンブトゥカンイスティラハットクサバランダンワクトゥスリッサマシブルムムンプニャトイトゥナスバルタビムンキンアラムマシプルクルチャタラムムクディマアマンプンギマルスパクポラハニャムンリハットスンビランプルムニットタピスブルムイトゥアダプランプランプルチャーパンムンキンヒドゥップジュガスプルティートゥティガスムアハルプンティンテルチャディティパワソロットランプパギヤンテナンジュガプルハルガトゥルリバカシダリジュバサンパイプルトゥムリラヒタマンバトゥルムットダンバギヤンテナンドゥアプルジュニドゥアリブドゥアプルエナムトキョウプクルアナムドゥアプルリマバギスプルムムノントンアメリカスリカットムラワンオーストラリアアクムリハットボンサイテルレビダブルクマリンアクムンビアルカアカルニャプラダディダラムアイルレビラマダンバギイニ旭山桜トゥルリハットレビセハットルムットニャレビピジャウカバンニャレビテナンサアットムリハットルムットイトゥアクムンバヤンカンタマンゼンジュババトゥバトゥクチルパシルプティダンルムットピジャウヤントゥルスバルスプルティポラポラクチルディタマンヤンテナンティダスムアジャパンタダンドゥンガンジェパイタピ Akalut tap tumbu daram kudiaman, Harisurima ratus tiga puru lima pagiam chura di Tokyo, America surikat mungaragan Australia, Danni antara batu suru talumutto, Haribaru buntimurai, Durima kashi dari Japan, Jungan lupa subscribe channel ini, sampai jumpa lagi. Ciao, mia yeni, mia ne manekin arian, di mane Tokyo myo ma nemin yaun nene borage tai. Kambafra poe, American ne Australia, poego machi kaima. Chano bonsai pinde, tuego arin chi de ne tai. Neppin. American atin anain yage tai, dabe mei, poe masachi kaima. Tisaimu ne, tippinde tabe shine tai maneka. Chano amitiugo, yetema acheimbo, cha au ta chi te tai. Di manella Asahiyama Sakura ga pi ate wain la duro tinyade. Yenie tuga yeshendade coinchute gare. Nechen te de are, yenigo chi tene nechemma. Japan e zen u ya in chon tikukugo. Sien matai mi tai chau de tuego. Shinya na cha shita de. Apuya un tega. Micha pae duate porontuero. Titi sai sai anayuti kuya pama aremmaro marobu. Arengo atinga chappu marobu ayama roma. Tune ya ne shine tai pawa sore tai. Tokyo mane chiawi miste ga pora tore manekken Amerika atin anainya manu. Yetemma ane bonsai pin. Chaute ye yeniche cheka. Netaka netenne asahi view piani. Nauchaten pienju ejamai. Stones, moss and morning light. Day 535th. June 20th, 2026, Tokyo, 6:25 a.m. This morning, I woke up to a brighter sky above Tokyo. The rainy season clouds had begun to break. Before watching the World Cup, watching the World Cup match between the United States and Australia, I spent some quiet moments with my bonsai. Later, the United States would go on to win. But before the match, before the result, there was only silence. And a small tree. Yesterday, I left the roots sparkling in water longer than usual. Perhaps too long, but this morning the Asahiyama Sakura seemed healthier. The moss looked greener. The branches appeared calmer. It made me wonder, can patience sometimes look like doing less, or simply waiting? The Serissa remains another mystery. No new shoot yet. Still waiting. Still teaching. Today's reflection, before the score, before the cheer, before the headlines, there are quiet morning, there are ordinary moments, and sometimes those moments shape us the most. Day 535th. Today, Tokyo, 6:25 a.m. A brighter morning, America defeats Australia. A bonsai results in water. And in the garden of stones and moss, another day begins. Thank you for following this journey from Japan. Day 536, June 21st, 2026, from Tokyo, Japan, then Bonsai. So I woke up very early morning to watch the soccer game. Germany and Ivory Coast In total, Germany the score 2, Ivory Coast 1. So Germany won the game. It was very impressive to see the Germany get the score lost time. In Tokyo, it was very humid and very cloudy weather. So, watching from two bonsai. So, the surface of the moss seemed to be not dry. There is no flower on Asahiyama Sakura. And Serissa seems to be dry, and the surface of moss is very vivid. Day 536, 2026, June 21st. Day 538, June 23rd, 2026, 7 a.m. Tokyo, Japan. I watched the World Cup soccer game. France score 1, Iraq score is 0, and halftime. So it was very exciting game on the half. But it seemed to be heavy rain on the Philadelphia. So I'm looking forward to watching the special game in the last 45 minutes. The Tokyo seems to be a little bit cloudy. Thank you for watching the two bonsai. And it seemed to be a little bit dry. There is always a moment of quiet anticipation. Beside me were two familiar companions, Asahiyama Sakura, Serissa. At first glance, they looked almost unchanged from yesterday, but perhaps not entirely. The branch of the Asahiyama Sakura seemed to be a little dry. The moss around the Serissa also appeared slightly less moist. Nothing dramatic, nothing urgent, just small signs that are easy to overlook. Maybe it is time to give them some water. Nature rarely changes overnight. Growth is often hidden. Sometimes The only difference between yesterday and today is a little dryness, a little moisture, and the decision to care for that quietly continue to live. Perhaps life is the same. Not every day brings visible change, but small acts repeated patiently keep us growing. From Tokyo, Japan, Zen Bonsai Vibes, day 538. Cloudy June morning, waiting for France vs Iraq, and watering the bonsai, day 538. Description YouTube podcast ready, June 23rd, 2026, 5:46 a.m. Tokyo, Japan. This morning in Tokyo, the air wasn't too humid. The sky was covered with clouds, yet it still felt like one of those June mornings when the ultraviolet rays are quietly strong. The city was calm. Another World Cup story was about to begin. France vs Iraq kick-off was still ahead, and that made me wonder what kind of match will it become. Will France control possession? Will Iraq surprise the world? Day 545. After the final whistle, Japan vs Brazil, and returning to my bonsai. Description: June 30th, 2026, 4:31 a.m. Today was a difficult morning. I watched the World Cup match between Japan and Brazil. Japan fought until the very end, but Brazil scored during stoppage time, and the match ended 2-1. It was heartbreaking. For a few moments, I simply stared at the screen. Sometimes football reminds us how quickly everything can change. One moment you believe, the next everything is different. Even though I want to remember how well Japan played, and I especially want to remember Junior. His performance was inspiring. He kept fighting until the final whistle. That spirit will stay with me much longer than the result itself. A few days ago, returned from my trip to the United States, where I traveled to watch World Cup match. After coming home, I checked my bonsai. Asahiyama Sakura, Serissa. Serissa looked different. There seemed to be a whistle power on some part of the tree. Perhaps it was only dust. Perhaps it was beginning of mold. I don't know yet. I'll continue watching it carefully over the next few days. The Asahiyama Sakura was completely dry. The soil had lost almost all its moisture, so the first thing I did was give it plenty of water. Sometimes plants tell us stories without using words. When we travel, time continues moving for them as well. Football lasts 90 minutes. A journey lasts several days, but bonsai continues growing every single day. Today's disappointment may become tomorrow's motivation. Today's watering may become tomorrow's new leaves. That is one of that reason I continue recording this quiet morning. Another day, another observation, another lesson from football, another lesson from bonsai. Please subscribe to my channel. Join me on this daily bonsai journey. If it's mold, I will first keep the tree in well-ventilated place. I will gently remove the white mold with a soft blast and cotton swab. I will gently remove the water with a soft brush and cotton swab. I will avoid overwatering for a while. And let the surface dry slightly between waterings. I will also remove any dead leaves or old organic matter around the soil. For now, I will not panic. I will observe carefully, clean gently, and help the bonsai recover step by step. Day 545, World Cup 2026, Japan, Brazil, Bonsai, Asahiyama Sakura, Serissa, Zen Natural Daily Journal. Thank you for your listening from Zen Bonsai Vibes, Day 545, 2026, June 30th, from Tokyo, Japan. Thank you.